Hello, Chiquis!
And welcome to Chatty Amigas,
a podcast where two friends approach everyday problems and find practical solutions. I'm Mafe.
And I'm Ella.
And today we are spilling the tea on skincare. It can be such a problem when we don't know why our skin is doing something and how to keep up with what we have. So our practical solution was to invite an elite licensed oh, Mel, can you tell? I don't know how to say that word.
she's an elite licensed esthetician.
Thank you. To our podcast.
We would love to introduce Joanne. Woo!
Yay! Hi! I'm so glad to be here. Thanks so much for having me. I'm Joanne. Yes, and I'm the elite esthetician.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us. I'm sorry. That was a rough word for me.
It's all good. It took me a minute.
And Joanne, she's the founder of Dermaglow. Joanne is also a dermalogica expert, a Clarity RX master, and a certified lash artist. Not only does she have an impressive resume, but she's super, super sweet as well. So thanks again for coming. We're super honored to have you here.
Aw, thank you. I'm excited. I'm very, very excited. Honored as well.
Thank you so much for being here with us and taking some time and to just, talk to our listeners and for us as well, for us to be able to understand our skin a little bit better, just to know a whole lot more. So go ahead and please tell us a little bit about yourself and about Dermaglow.
Okay, so I actually became an esthetician I'm going on 3 years now. I never saw myself doing aesthetics, but I went through the experience of having cystic acne, and I did want to finish something in school, so I looked into small courses and things like that, and I found aesthetics, and I was like, okay, let me go for it. This sounds like a lot of fun, and yeah, my skin's pretty shot right now, so I think it will be a good idea to do so. So yeah, I decided to go to school. I did it, graduated. I learned so much. And thanks to all that knowledge, I am actually cystic acne free. I got my skin back, and I was pretty impressed to know that actually having a skincare routine and sticking to it can really transform your skin. And that's why I really wanted to share that with everybody else that is probably going through a rough patch with their skin, and let them know that, hey, you can actually you can have your skin back. You just have to stick to a routine, know what to use, and I'm here to help anybody that needs it. And I made my YouTube channel. I opened, an IG with my name Dermaglow. I've been working with Hand and Stone. I'm also now working in one of my friend's studios, so doing more of different skincare treatments like hydrofacials now. So been doing quite a lot lately, even though I'm actually due in 3 weeks. I'm gonna have a baby, but that doesn't stop me. Yep, I'm still, trying to get things done. I'm very active, so I love keeping busy. So that's my thing. So yeah, that's a little bit about me.
That's awesome. And I have to say, since no one can see you, she has the most glowy skin. She already did. Joanne, you already had such nice skin. Yeah, see? Such beautiful skin. And now that she's having a baby, it's extra glowy. It's amazing. But I'm really happy for you.
That is the first thing I noticed too, when you guys cannot see her, but we can. And that was the first thing I noticed, was her glowy skin. I was like, oh my gosh, that is some pretty skin. I'm glad we have her on today.
You're a good advertisement for what you do.
Yes, she's proof of it.
Oh, thanks.
So this interview is going to be a little bit different. We asked you for help, and Cheekies, you delivered. All the questions that we're asking today were sent in from you, our listeners. So thank you so much for that. And we're going to jump into the first question. It was sent in to us by Carla, and her question was, does people's acne gross you out?
So I actually get this question a lot, which is funny. It does not, because yet again, I'm not working like Dr. Pimple Popper, which I actually did have the privilege to work like her. I was working for a dermatologist, and yeah, we dealt with the big stuff.
Wow.
That was pretty interesting. I thought I was gonna be super grossed out by it, but honestly, it was so interesting. And then stitching people up and doing all that stuff,
Oh my gosh.
it was fun
Stitching?
actually. It was pretty fun. But I
That's
learned a
awesome.
lot. It
I'm
was so
sorry.
satisfying.
Wait, you stitch people back up afterwards?
Yeah, especially when it has to do with like a massive like you know a cyst, because it's different than having like just normal acne. A cyst is already like, we're talking like the size of a fist of your hand, things like that. So no, I did have to like, assist the doctor on the dermatologist on draining, and then I'm there for the stitching and all that good stuff. It was a lot of fun. I learned a whole nother like side of, let's say, skincare. But also like it didn't really gross me out the way I thought it would, honestly. But it was pretty cool. It was really cool. But like whenever I do a facial, we don't deal with that type of acne, you know what I mean? Like not acne, but like that type of like big stuff. So honestly, if I dealt with that and I did not barf, listen, we're good. I could pop a pimple. It's no biggie. But yeah, it was
Wow.
pretty cool. It was really cool.
Well, it's nice to
Wow.
know that if like you have someone come that they feel self-conscious. I'm assuming you're any professional, because we do have listeners from, they're actually around the world. Actually, we're international, so that's been really exciting.
That's cool.
Yeah, thank you. So it's nice to know that no matter where you live, you can find a professional that can help you, and they're not going to be disgusted. Like you can be shy and be like, "Oh my gosh, no, I don't want to see the person because this is so embarrassing." But it's really nice and comforting to know that the professional's not going to be disgusted. They're not going to be grossed out. They'll be fine.
And it sounds like you have found your calling. It's like people that are nurses, and there's some that cannot deal with blood or any bodily fluids or anything like that.
Like
But
me.
yeah, that doesn't gross me out at all. Like I could see guts and blood and it doesn't bother me. So
Oh my god.
it sounds like you found your calling. It doesn't bother you. So that's perfect, because you get to work on the skin and be really gentle without feeling grossed out. That's really good.
Yeah, no, and you always make them feel comfortable. And I always tell them, hey, listen, my skin was shot, and it was worse than like probably their skin is. And honestly, you just put yourself in their position, like, hey, I went through it. Everything's gonna be okay. Don't worry about it. Like, we're here to help. That's my job. You know what I mean? So
Good.
yeah, no, it's always about making them feel good. It's never like, oh my god, your skin is terrible. I would never say that to somebody, ever. It's like, no, your skin is good. We just got to get it back on track. That's it. You're going to be fine. So, yeah.
That's
That's
a
so
really
nice.
beautiful way. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so sweet. So moving on to the next question. This was sent by Sarai, and she said, what do you recommend for dry skin during winter season?
All right. So when it comes to dry skin, I basically recommend using definitely a serum or something that's a moisturizer that's more on the serum based side, a lightweight, not something that's too heavy on your skin and your skin can't absorb. I would actually really recommend from Dermalogica the Calm Water Gel. That is very lightweight and super hydrating. I actually recommended this for one of my clients today, and she purchased it. So she was going through the same thing. And even if you have acne, even if you have oily skin, even if you have whatever is going on, sensitive skin, this one will work for all skin types. So Calm Water Gel will not irritate the skin. It's soothing. It will not make you break out more at all. It's like water. That's what your skin needs. So it's a really great product. So make sure that you are using something that's like that. Cleansing your skin, and definitely a must, exfoliating. As long as you're doing that, your skin's going to stay hydrated. Exfoliating is very important because your skin will not absorb anything if you're applying products over dead skin cells. It's just going to basically kind of sit there. You're only going to absorb maybe 30% instead of like a good 85 to 90 that you should. So yeah.
Oh, very interesting. It's
So I have a-
interesting you say that because, sorry, Mel, some people say that exfoliating can hurt the skin more or make it more sensitive. But it's so true, because if your skin is dirty and you apply stuff over it, like you're just mixing in the dirt.
Yeah, it really just depends on what exfoliator you have. If you're using one that's super rough, please do not ever use St. Ives apricot scrub. That makes us scream every time someone says they're using that. Throw that away. That's terrible for your skin. An exfoliator like that will irritate because it's so rough. The beads are hard. It's like literally rubbing your face with sand. You don't want to do that. So I recommend like I always recommend the Daily Microfoliant by Dermalogica. It's rice grain. It's made out of rice grain. It's super gentle. Your skin's gonna feel so soft afterwards. Even if you had like the most sensitive skin in the world, like rosacea, you can use that exfoliator every day. So I always recommend using one that you can use every day to get that dead skin off every day and go to bed with a clean face and always have a good skincare routine. You're gonna be good that way. That's the best way.
So that kind of brings a question. I heard that you're not supposed to exfoliate every day, like every other day. Is that true?
That's only true with an exfoliator that is rough. So there's an exfoliator by Dermalogica that's called the Daily Superfoliant. I wouldn't recommend that depending on the skin to be used every day because it's not really made for like a daily use on everybody's skin. You know what I mean? Someone with fair skin, I wouldn't recommend it every day. Someone with dark skin, that's like their skin can literally take anything. My skin can literally go through fire and it survives. I can use that every day. So, there's people that just can't, So it just depends on the exfoliator. The Daily Exfoliator by Dermalogica, that one's made for daily use. So yes, you can use that one for a daily use. You just got to know what product you're holding in your hands. You got to know it. If you know it, you'll know if you can use it every day or not.
No, there you go. That's interesting.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Good to know.
I was just schooled, guys.
Yeah.
And then we have another question from Priscilla. I really liked this one. She says, if you could choose one face product for life, what would it be besides sunscreen?
Okay, so a face product. My favorite one would have to be vitamin C. So the Bioluminum C Serum Moisturizer, that's a new product actually from Dermalogica, and I love it. I use this one a lot, and that's what gives me a good glow. So this is going to help with like hyperpigmentation. It's going to help with fine lines and wrinkles, and it's also a moisturizer. So it's literally a 3-in-1, which is amazing. And it's the gel moisturizer, the vitamin C gel moisturizer by Dermalogica. That would be the one I would have to say is my favorite one.
Wow, thank you for sharing. That's vitamin C.
That's interesting. I didn't know that vitamin C serum, because you hear about it, right? You hear about it, but you don't. I mean, I guess I shouldn't say we don't. I mean, I didn't know that it helps with the hyperpigmentation and like dark spots and stuff like that. That's interesting.
Yep, it really does. So like that's what I use the most after I was done with having, active acne breakouts. Once I was done and I targeted all my breakouts, then I was left with, acne scarring. So then to treat acne scarring, that's why I used a lot of vitamin C. That really brightens the skin. It's going to really help get all that hyperpigmentation back, out of your face, like done. Like you won't have to deal with anything. So that's how I got my skin back mostly. You got to target each thing one step at a time.
Oh, I am like literally taking notes on the side. You guys cannot see me, but I'm like writing this down because I want to know.
Yeah,
no, it's good to know because I have some scarring from old acne.
Me too.
And really go ahead. I'm sorry.
And that really helps. Vitamin C.
You know what I was using? I don't even know if it's good for you. It's the scar removing gels on
the
it.
Little patches?
It's like a Mederma, but not the cheap version because,
Listen, I don't blame you. Tough times. It's okay. I know. I get it.
You're at Walmart and Mederma's like, I don't know how much it is now, but it's probably like what, $16, and then Walmart has it for $4. I'm like, well,
okay.
I'm gonna get the $4 one. They say compared to Moderna.
I don't blame you. Like I said, I don't blame you. That's okay. But I always recommend using more of, if you can find these products in like a Walgreens or CVS, it's not really professional grade, but I recommend always something that is professional grade, and Dermalogica is made by the Dermal Institute. So it is made by dermatologists. So I always recommend, if you're trying to target something to get like good results, go with a professional grade brand. So that's really a good one to try. So maybe you'll see way more of a change in less time if you use, you know, like Dermalogica brand products. If you haven't still noticed the difference with the one that you are using now, then you know it could be, you know, it's not as effective. Like the amount of ingredients that are in it isn't, like, it might not have a lot of vitamin C like it says. Like sometimes bottles say, oh, this is pure vitamin C, and it only has like what, 40% instead of like 80 or 90. So you really got to know about like the ingredients that are in it. Once you read the
Okay.
ingredients and you know, oh, this product should be good, even if it's cheap, or maybe it's not because it just doesn't have the amount you need.
Okay. I guess it's one of those things that's quality. You know, if you're gonna put your money into it, you'll probably end up saving your money more at the end because you're purchasing something that's gonna work. So it's gonna take less time to get it done as opposed to buying something cheap and like 5 years later you're still using it.
Yeah. Yep, exactly.
Mm.
Because with skincare, it's like an investment. You're doing an investment on yourself, so it's always good to get something good.
Good. That's really good. Very, very true. So moving us right along, we have another question, and this one was submitted by Anonymous. And the person said, what can we do to get rid of cystic acne? What can we do to prevent it from happening?
So when it comes to cystic acne, like it really depends. When it comes to preventing it, you can't prevent cystic acne if it is basically in your genetics. Like your mom had it, your grandma had it, you know, it's in your blood. If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen, but you can control the amount of breakouts that you're getting. So if it's something that it just happened out of nowhere, like it did for me, then I had to change certain things. Like I had to change a certain medication I was taking that was causing it. So I had to stop taking that and then kind of like figure it out, you know? So it really depends on what's causing it. If it's out of the blue and out of nowhere, it's something that you're probably eating, it's something that you are probably using on your skin, or, you know, it could be anything. And then if you've always had it since you were probably like a teen all the way up to your 30s, then hey, it can be in your genetics. Like, you know, your mom had it, it's just hereditary, you know? So it really just depends on where you sit when it comes to like if it's genetics or not. But preventing it, I would recommend watching my video that I have on YouTube. It's skincare routine for like acne. There I specifically have a whole skincare like line from Dermalogica that is from acne, explaining each product, how it's supposed to be used, and step by step to basically control it. So for anybody that has it, either because of genetics or just because it popped out, use that skincare routine and you will see a difference. It'll either completely vanish away and be done, or you'll be able to control the amount of breakouts you're getting.
It's really nice that you did that because a lot of people do struggle. So the fact that
Yeah.
they have a step by step and they don't physically have to go see someone immediately, like they could give this a try before consulting with someone in their area if they're far from you. That's nice.
Exactly. And the good thing is that you are, you know, a professional in this field. So having that video from a professional person that has gone through it, that knows the products and knows what they have in it and what's good about them, it's gonna help a lot of people for sure.
Yeah, no, big time, big time. It's there, and it's like probably like a 9-minute long video, because you have to like specifically explain like that question. It's good to watch the video for it, because I would have to explain like step by step and everything, so it's all specifically there. So that's on my page too. I have the link attached to my IG page of Dermaglow by JD, so she can
Nice.
definitely check that out.
We'll link that in the description below. So anyone that's interested, they can access it as well. So thank you.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's easier. Yep. That's good.
So then we have another question. This is from Jess. And she goes, what do I do about blackheads in the winter? I've got Italian oily skin in a dry climate.
Okay, so if your skin is oily, it's because it is dry, it is dehydrated, it does not have water. So I recommend basically exfoliating and hydrating the skin, just because your skin has nothing else to produce, because your skin doesn't produce water. We give it water. Our skin produces oil. So when you have no water, your skin is actually flipping out. It's like, oh my God, we are completely out of water. What do we do? So they just start overproducing, your skin cells just start overproducing oil, because it's all it has to basically in some way keep your skin hydrated. And then that's when you start getting your blackheads, because you're producing way too much oil, your skin is dry, your pores are open, debris gets caught up in there, and you start experiencing blackheads. So what you have to do for that is definitely exfoliate. The daily microfoliant will do more than enough. That'll be good enough. And definitely have at least a hydrating cleanser. The intensive moisture cleanser is my favorite. It's the one I'm using right now because it's cold outside. I use that one during the winter time. It's super hydrating. And like I said, the calm water gel would be great in that case, because it's lightweight and it's not going to clog up the pores more than what it is already. So that's why I said that moisturizer is good for all skin types in any situation it's at. So that'll be good for her.
That's good to know. Very interesting. I didn't know that that's what caused blackheads.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't know either. I mean, I knew, so like I used to have much oilier skin. My skin was worse. Now I think it's pretty okay. I don't think it's anything. But I went to, when I was younger, like over 10 years ago, I went somewhere to an actual like professional, and she's like, your skin's oily because it's dry. And I was like, say what? I was like, no. And she's like, no, it is. That's what it is. Your skin's so dry that it's overacting to give you the hydration you don't have. And because of that, it's clogging up everything. So moisturize it and you'll see it dramatically go down. And you know what? She was right.
Wow.
Oh my God.
So that's why I wanted to like emphasize on that, because it sounds insane. Like, no, clearly that's not it. It's oily because it's too much. I'm like, no, it's oily because it's too little. And I think that's something to emphasize. Like, moisturizing is so important. It's good for your skin. It prevents acne. It's good for wrinkles. It's just good for everything.
Yep, it really is. So hydration is key for everything, even when it comes to anti-aging. So if you keep your skin nicely hydrated, you will basically not experience wrinkles as fast as like someone that has dry skin, So it's a good thing.
Good to know.
Yes.
Good to know. Awesome. Very good. Let's check out this next question. This one was sent by Anonymous. And the person asked, I have these stains on my face that my son calls aging stains. It looks like eyeliner is running. It happened recently since the pandemic. What are they and how do I get rid of them?
So I would really have to see it to tell her exactly what it is, because if she's described it as like eyeliner running, I don't know if it's actually like a patch on her skin or if it's actually like little polka dots, let's say, you know what I mean? So if it's actually a patch on the skin, it could be like they call it melasma. It's not like, it sounds so intense, but it's not. It's basically just overproduction of the cells that produce the color in your skin. And it happens after a certain amount of time. For her, I would really, really, really recommend exfoliating, because sometimes when it comes to patches like that on the skin, it's just lack of exfoliation from so many years. And it can really help brighten that up big time.
Wow.
So that's something I would really recommend. And just make sure that she's definitely like going to see a dermatologist, just to make sure that everything's a-okay also. So when it's ever something that's not like, sunspots, it's something more like patchy, just get it checked just to make sure you're good. And definitely exfoliating is going to help a lot with that.
Okay, and like we said, we're gonna post your Instagram and stuff. If she feels like she would like you to take a look, maybe she can send you some pictures or something, for a more specific consultation or make an appointment with you or something like that.
Yep, that's a great idea. I have a lot of clients that actually send me pictures. I always tell them follow me, and if you have questions or anything, you can directly message me, and I am glad to help.
Okay, we're gonna do that. That way she can get maybe a more defined answer. Because like you said, it could be a lot of things and without actually seeing it, or perhaps if something did happen that could have caused him, then it's kind of hard to tell.
Exactly. Yep.
Do you think that the fact that it started happening during pandemics kind of a coincidence, or do you think it's stress based, or would you not be able to answer that? Because that's what interested me, like reading that part.
Honestly, I would literally have to see it with my own eyes, and I can actually say like, oh, this could have been caused because of this or that or that. So right now, I really wouldn't know, because it's usually if you're stressed, you would break out. It really wouldn't be like hyperpigmentation on the skin. So that's why I'm like, I really don't know, unless she was like really sunbathing during, like, since we couldn't really do anything, just sit out on your porch at least.
Right.
But that's the thing, we really don't know. So we'll have to really look at it.
That's a fair answer.
Yeah.
You're not psychic. You can't just be like, oh.
She's not. Gosh.
Oh my
No.
god.
No, it's true. It's true. And a lot of things like you just said, a lot of stuff could have costed. And if just did recently happen, like overnight, then perhaps it's good to get it checked by a professional, make sure everything is okay. And if you've been kind of happening little by little over the years, they kind of started getting darker or something, then it's best to perhaps send a couple pictures. You don't have to show your whole face if you don't feel comfortable, just so she can get a better idea about what could be causing it, and perhaps give a more like a definite answer.
Yep.
Awesome.
And then I have I'm gonna throw in two more, like the one that we have and one more that I'm gonna make up on the spot. So the one I'm gonna make up on the spot right now is for me, is as you're getting older, like I'm getting older, I'm not old, I have good skin, I'm aware, and I'm very grateful. But what is something you would recommend? I know you mentioned vitamin C, but something that you would recommend to try to keep the lines smooth as much as possible for a longer time.
Don't worry. I would really recommend there's this machine that you can have at home, and you can purchase it. It's called the New Face. I'm also a New Face master. So it's really interesting because you're basically working out the muscle in your face and toning at the same time when you're using this machine on your face. It's small. I do have a video explaining it on my page, not on YouTube, but actually on my Dermaglow page on my IG, explaining a little bit more in detail how it looks, the packaging, because I had one as well. This is really good to use, especially now for preventative care. And even if you were like 45 or 50, you know what I mean? You can still start using it then, just because you can never go wrong with basically going to the gym, for example. If I tell you, oh, go to the gym every day and work out for 5 minutes your arms, you're going to see a difference because you're working out the muscle. Same thing with your face. This machine is working out the muscle in your face instead of you just putting Botox on the muscle and basically just calming down that muscle and those fine lines. It just calms it down and just makes it nice and sleek. So when you do use Botox, it's good because you get that immediate result. But when you're using the New Face, it's very important not to forget that there's going to be a moment in your life you're not going to use Botox anymore. It's expensive. Every 6 months you're spending like what, $400, $500. So it's better to basically just work out the muscle, keep it nice and toned. As you're aging, it's like you've been going to the gym since you were 20 and now you're like 70, you're still hitting the gym. Your body's gonna be looking great. Same thing with your face. You've been working out the muscle in your face with this little machine. It's microcurrent. That's what it is that you're using. You're basically just gonna prolong how your skin is looking young. So, and it actually even dissipates the wrinkles on the face if you already have some. Within 8 weeks of using it every day for 5 minutes, you should see results within 8 to 12 weeks. And after that, you'll just use it every 3 days, like 3 days in a week, just for preventative, to maintain, just for maintenance,
Nice.
So
I really recommend the new facelift. That's it.
So you use that every day for 12 weeks, more or less, 8
Yep.
to 12, and then every 3 days. Huh. I hear of like the Korean skin treatments, and I know they have gadgets that look insane for their skin. And I thought,
Right.
that's not real, but I guess it is. If you're
Yep, it's
saying that, and I
microcurrent.
trust you, so you're saying, yeah, if it's
Yeah.
that there's muscles that you can tone in your face.
Absolutely. And the only way you can work out your face is because, like, if I say work out your face, you're not going to put weights on your face. But, like, the
Right.
only way you can, like, technically work out the muscles in your face is microcurrent. That's what it is. So that machine uses microcurrent, hits the muscle. Muscle has memory. It'll remember how to work. Skin cells will begin to work in those spots. And, wrinkles will start dissipating or preventing.
Okay.
Nice.
And then I have one last question, which is, what can we do to help minimize acne while wearing a face mask?
So to minimize acne, that's fun. So I love everything when it has to do with acne. So when it comes to that, I recommend at least having a toner with you at all times. Like me, I use a toner from Dermalogica. It's the antioxidant hydro mist. That's one that I really, really do like. I spray this on my face like in the morning before I go to work because I do wear a mask, obviously, because I'm like so close to clients' faces. I always have a mask on and a shield when I do facials. So just make sure that you're spraying that, throughout the day when you feel your skin dry. And it really does help. If you already have like acne going on, I do recommend at least putting on this serum called the Age Bright Clearing Serum. It's from the Acne line from Dermalogica. I loved this serum so much. I used it a lot when I actually had active breakouts. So if you do have like active breakouts, this is really going to help to put it on before you go to work, before you're going to wear the mask, because it kills bacteria that causes acne. And whatever breakout that you have underneath the skin that's just like a bump, it's still not a white pimple. That's going to prevent that one from turning into a white pimple. So it'll basically just kill bacteria. It'll help prevent, breakouts. And it also helps with anti-aging, which is pretty cool. So it has like that little property in there as well. It's like kind of like a 3-in-1, let's say. So preventative, and it kills bacteria, and it's also anti-aging. So that's a really good one to have. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Wow, this was so great. This was so
informative.
much information. Like this is why you do what you do, because you know exactly what's happening and like how to take care of the skin and how to keep it glowing and how to keep it moisturized, fresh, and just thank you so much for coming on our podcast and answering all these questions with your very thoughtful and full of knowledge answers. We very much value your time and your input.
Oh, thank you so much, guys. And like I said, if anybody has any questions, you already know where to find me. So
Yes.
I got you.
Yes. And for anyone interested in looking up Joanna and Dermaglow, we will leave everything we discussed today in the description down below for sure.
Yes. Yeah. We're going to list everything. So make sure you check the description below for all her information so you can give her a follow. That is it for our podcast today. We sincerely hope you liked it. We would love to know what you thought about our episode. So feel free to please leave a comment. Feel free to let us know what topics you would like for us to discuss in the future.
Please subscribe, give us a like, a follow, and or a star rating if you want to hear more episodes like this one. Our social media handles and website will be posted on the description down below.
Yes, thank you so much for listening, Chickies. And if you absolutely love this episode, perhaps we can do a second part in the future, just with very more deeper questions or anything like that. So thank you for listening. We will be back every Tuesday with the team.
So Joanne, feel free to join us with the outro, okay? At the count of 3, say bye. 1, 2, 3.
Bye.